A very good morning, students, and welcome to the class. Students, today we will analyze the poem Sailing to Byzentium by the Irish English poet W.B. Yeats. Yesterday, I gave you a very brief introduction of this poem to you. Students, the text of the poem is there on the slide before you. And first, I will read the first stanza of this poem, and then we will analyze these lines. There is no country for old men, the young in one another's arms, birds in the trees, those dying generations at their song, the salmon falls, the mackerel crowded seas, fish, flesh, or fowl, commend all summer long, whatever is begotten, born, and dies, caught in that sensual music, all neglect, monuments of unaging intellect. So, students, in the first stanza, as we see, the poet is not satisfied with the country in which he has been living and considers it unsuitable for old men. It is a country in which all are given to sensual pleasures, and art and philosophy, monuments of unaging intellect, are neglected. The poet is growing old and he finds that the country, Ireland, where he lives at present is not suited to old men. It is a country in which all living creatures, young and in the fullness of their powers, are given to sensual and sexual pleasures. Reproductive activity goes on everywhere. Birds, beasts, and fish all alike indulge in it. It is a sensual world, and engrossed in sensuality, nobody cares for monument of unaging intellect, that is, for works of art and literature which are the products of the mind and the spirit, and hence immortal. So, he says, in the first stanza, we see Yeats speaks, and Yeats' speaker announces that the country where he has been left behind is no country for old men. Being old, the speaker feels out of place here. Young people, they love, birds are singing, and other signs of joy and youth are not the province of old people. So, now let us come to the second stanza of this beautiful poem. And these lines read, an aged man is but a paltry thing, a tattered coat upon a stick, unless soul clap its hand and sing, and louder sing for every tatter in its mortal dress, nor is there singing school but studying monuments of its own magnificence. And therefore I have sailed the seas and come to the holy city of Byzentium. So, in the second stanza, as we see that an old man is contemptible unless his soul can enjoy works of art and literature which are the immortal products of human spirit. The weaker a man grows in body, the greater should be his joy of the works of art. This joy, this singing and dancing, this artistic pleasure can be learned only by studying immortal works of art. It is for this reason that the poet is sailing to Byzentium, a country known for its great artistic treasures. Old age is a time of physical decay and decline when a man no longer has the capacity for physical enjoyment. He becomes as worthless and helpless as a scarecrow. As a scarecrow. He is contemptible. He is a contemptible figure, a mere tattered coat upon a stick, unless he devotes himself to the study and enjoyment of art. Students, it says, the older one grows, the greater should be one's devotion to art. Appreciation and understanding of art can be achieved only by studying magnificent and immortal works of art. Since Byzantium is the traditional home of art, the poet has decided to go there to devote himself to the study of rich treasures. The image, unless soul clasp, unless soul clap its hands and sing, reminds us of William Blake's vision of the soul clapping its hands and dancing and singing. The poet has called Byzantium holy for its devoted because it is devoted to spiritual and intellectual activity and not to the unholy and physical and the sensuous. So, the second stanza of the poem describes old men, such as the speaker himself, as worthless thing like a coat hung upon a stick, just as slight and just as useless in society's eye. That is, unless the old can learn to be happy in their twilight years, and to do that, to learn how to relish their old age and wisdom, to make their soul sing again, they need to study the glories of civilization, monuments of its own magnificence, in other words, what the soul of man has built. And this, the speaker explains, is why he has traveled to Byzantium. Students, this much for today. We will continue with the discussion on this poem in our next class as well. Thank you very much.